Hi, welcome all of you on the platform of Europedia Education. And as you know, we in the last video I discussed with you that we are on Europedia going to initiate the modules for general studies subjects. And in that direction, I'm going to discuss today in this brief video something about Indian polity and governance. So this topic is something which is a very, very important topic, very interesting topic which is related to the current developments, and the topic which you can feel and you can uh, understand this topic by observing the things what are happening around you, like what is the meaning of constitution, what is the meaning of parliament, what is the meaning of amendment, what is the meaning of judicial system, what is the meaning of governance, what is executive, what is legislature. All these things you can observe day to day life. In the day to day life you see what is happening around you. When you talk about article 370 and what is happening in Jammu and Kashmir, or when you talk about citizenship amendment act, or when you talk about human rights, so you are talking about polity. And this topic, in my opinion, every citizen should have some knowledge about this topic, because we are the largest democracy of the world, and being largest democracy of the world, we should know what is happening around us and what is our governance, what is our political system, that we should know. So Indian polity, let me introduce you. By the way, do you know these buildings, Rashtrapati Bhavan, Parliament, Supreme Court? So this all are something which we are going to discuss in this entire subject. Now let me tell you the significance of this subject for exam. As we know, this is a significant part of any general studies module. Whether you talk about small exams like state exams or SSC JE exams, or you talk about the IAS UPSC exams, everywhere you will find in GS significant portion of Indian polity and governance. It is very much related to the current issues. As I told you, Article 370, 70 Citizenship Act, all these things are everyday news. So if you take out newspaper, I can give you 10 news which are related to your Indian polity and governance. Group discussion, many students say, sir, what GD topics we have to prepare? If you are good in polity, certainly you get GD topics from there. He might ask you to generally debate on democracy, debate on whatever happening around you. He may ask you to debate on Article 370. He may ask you to debate on uniform civil code. I mean, these topics are from polity. So unless until you have knowledge about this, you cannot debate on that. Essay writing, those people, those students who are aspiring to be in UPSC IAS exam and all, वहां पे एक पूरे का पूरा essay आपका, he will give you couple of topics and out of that you have to pick up one topic. तो वो essay का topic एक रहता है. And similarly, interviews में wherever you are going, whether it is public sector interview or it is government sector interview or it is UPSC interview, wherever you face interview and where you are to come across some kind of non-technical thing, so Indian polity knowledge is required. As we know, this is a general studies topic, so that basic preliminary knowledge is required for that. Now let me give you some brief about civil services exam mein polity ka significance kya hai. This is a mother of all exams. Civil services exam, through which you get into some jobs like IAS, IPS, IRS and all. उसमें UPSC conduct करता है exam, and there are two stages of that, as you know. If I include interview as mains stage, then one is the preliminary and second is the mains. Now in the preliminary stage, preliminary mein paper, there are two papers of preliminary stage. Paper 1, paper 2, both are objective type paper and both are of same marks, and this is basically is going to be preliminary, and then comes the mains exam. Let me discuss briefly about preliminary में आपके दो पेपर हैं, दोनों कंपलसरी हैं और दोनों 200 मार्क्स ईच के हैं. There are two papers for that. And there is a paper can be in Hindi, English, those information separately you can get it. But let me tell you, there are two papers, and paper 1, paper 2, both the papers are having some kind of content here, out of which you have to choose. And in both the papers, like this Indian polity and governance is a part of paper 1 in preliminary. And then paper 2 is all about your mental ability and skills, logical skills and all. And this is called CSAT, Civil Services Aptitude Test, and this is CSAT 1, CSAT 2. So in this you get most of the topics of general studies, including Indian polity and governance. कितने marks इसमें से आते हैं? 200 marks में से कितना आता है? There is a variation, there is a some kind of fluctuation year to year, that I will discuss somewhere later. देन मेंस में देर आर क्वालिफाइंग पेपर्स, पेपर 1, पेपर 2, जिनके मार्क्स विल नॉट बी एडेड टू ओवरऑल स्कोर till interview, so they are only qualifying. Once you clear preliminary, preliminary marks will not be added. So once you clear mains mein these two paper are only qualifying. If you don't qualify, other paper will not be checked, but if you qualify this, you go further, and if you go further, these are the papers to be counted for your overall scoring. And what are the papers? Number 1, essay. So Indian political significance, I was telling you, Indian polity and governance. Paper 1 essay, 100% you get from Indian polity and governance. So if you're good in that, you will get a paper essay from that paper. Second, general studies paper 1 is more history related domain. Then third comes is governance, constitution, polity, international relations, social justice. That is something which we are going to discuss now, that we are starting now. So this is one paper. So out of mains, these 500 marks are straight related to this. 500 in mains is straight related to this. So if you're good in this, obviously you'll get the marks in this. Then general studies paper 3, general studies third part is economy, general studies 4 is ethic and integrity, aptitude and all, and then 6th is optional paper 1, optional 2, which you can have your engineering subjects, which you can have Indian political science, you can have public administration, you can have sociology, psychology, all those optional subjects are there also. So overall scoring, including interview 275 marks, overall scoring is 2025 marks, out of which you have to score for UPSC. This is all about UPSC. Now, polity as a subject, I told you, if you want to get feel of this subject, you need to understand this subject from the current. Whatever happening is in the current, you can understand this subject from there. I give you some recent updation, like, when government said Article 370 is to be abrogated, Article 35A is to be abrogated. Don't you think you are talking about the articles in Indian Constitution? Little more than 400 articles we have, and out of that, we are understanding these articles. So that means you can understand current, or from current, you can understand this subject. Similarly, Citizenship Amendment Act, CAB, सिटीजनशिप अमेंडमेंट बिल, जिसके ऊपर बहुत डिस्कशन चलता रहा जस्ट बिफोर कोविड ड्यूरिंग दिल्ली इलेक्शंस, दैट एवरीथिंग यू कैन स्टडी फ्रॉम देयर एंड इवन फ्रॉम कार्टून्स. लेट मी टेल यू लाइक दिस, कैन यू अंडरस्टैंड दिस? हु इज पर्सन जेसीबी के ऊपर बैठे हुए हैं, अवर होम मिनिस्टर, एंड ही इज कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन को बिल्कुल स्पेयर अपार्ट कर रहे हैं, टीयर अपार्ट कर रहे हैं. ये ऐसे से कार्टून्स हेल्प यू टू अंडरस्टैंड द सब्जेक्ट इटसेल्फ. So every day in the newspaper you will find some information related to some topic in the polity or governance, and from there you understand what is happening. Chief Justice of India, whatever is happening in Ram Mandir issue or Ram Mandir site, whatever is happening, I mean, everywhere you find parliament, judiciary, governance, executive, legislature, these things you find in everyday newspaper, and these are the main news. So from there you can understand it. Okay, so let's start it now. Indian polity, मैंने सारा बता दिया. Indian polity का significance क्या है? No need to tell further. I think we should go for this subject. We have to prepare this subject. Now, when I'll be taking lecture, let me tell you, that will be from very low level to very high level. If you are aspiring to be in IAS, or if you are aspiring to clear small exams, these lectures are going to cover everything. You can go for that. Now, okay, I start from Indian polity. The entire story of Indian political system, whatever constitution as the biggest law of land we know today, that started with journey of British rule in India. Before British rule, Mughals were ruling India, and during the court of Jahangir, some British people came as that is trader, and they wanted permission to start trade in India. 1600 mein they came, and from 1600 to 1773 they were just behaving like traders, and 1773 se Charter Act 1773 se they started ruling as a company, East India Company, and it had different names. From East India Company to British Crown government, British government sitting in London, 1858 they kept on ruling India. So British first came in India in 1600 as trader. 1773 में उन्होंने पहला चार्टर एक्ट इंडिया के लिए बनाया बंगाल में. वहां से उन्होंने रूल करना स्टार्ट किया. दे स्टार्टेड रूलिंग द कंट्री इन अ वेरी स्मॉल वे, एंड देन 1773 से 1858 तक कंपनी रूल करती रही. 1858 से 1947 तक ब्रिटिश रूल करते रहे एज अ कंट्री, एज अ गवर्नमेंट, ब्रिटिश गवर्नमेंट. So that entire thing is Indian polity. और आज जो हमें दिखता है, that is exactly what we have to study. So Indian polity starts with history actually. फर्स्ट यू टॉक अबाउट लिटिल हिस्ट्री एंड देन यू टॉक अबाउट हिस्ट्री में आपका पॉलिटिकल डेवलपमेंट कैसे हुआ एंड देन यू एंटर इनटू polity. So this my lecture is not about teaching. This I'm not teaching you anything today. I'm just briefing you how we are to initiate, and you understand as a story only. During my entire lecture, if you stress yourself कि आपको बहुत stress करना पड़ रहा है, then it is of no use. You need to understand as a story कि अच्छा ऐसा हुआ था, and then you are to this material I will provide you entire domain. You need to understand and feel कि okay, this is what was happening. So entire, as I told you, from where we start with British rule in India, how it all evolved, and company took crown. As I told you, no, East India Company say British government started ruling the country. So East India Company, it was having different names. It was the third name of East India Company. It started as a company rule 1773 to 1858. There was a rule of the company. And then 1857 revolt took place, and then the Queen's proclamation came, and British government decided that company cannot rule the country. Let's rule the country. It's a big country, big opportunity. Let us start directly ruling the country. So British government started ruling the country directly. So there are two phases. First phase is company, and second phase is British rule in India. So Regulating Act 1773, that was the first thing from where British started ruling. British did not come to India in 1773. They came to India in 1600. But first rule came in Regulating Act or Charter Act, whatever we call it. I will discuss later on, 1773. Government of India Act 1858 was the first law which British government brought to the and they removed the rule of company. They said company cannot rule now. British government is going to rule it. So some important acts in Indian polity which everybody should know. Some important acts. Starting from Regulating Act of 1773, first given by British company, then Pitt's India Act, Charter Act, then Charter Act 1853, Government of India Act. So these three are very important. Indian Councils Act 1909, Government of India Act 1919, and Government of India Act 1935. If somebody asks you what is the major significant act which actually created Indian Constitution later on, Indian Constitution में 60% weightage is of Government of India Act 1935. So जो constitution आज हम देखते हैं, which was formed in 1949 and it was implemented in 1950, 26 जनवरी 1950 को Indian Constitution, that actually has a history of making. This all years British were experimenting, adding something, we were fighting, Indian National Congress was fighting कि हमें ये चाहिए, and 1935 तक चलते चलते उन्होंने बहुत ज्यादा चीज उसमें ऐड कर दिया था. एंड 1935 के बाद यू नो देयर इज अ वर्ल्ड वॉर 2, 1939 टू 45, एंड 45 के बाद 46 में कैबिनेट मिशन प्लान केम एंड देन कंस्टिट्यूएंट असेंबली बना एंड वी मेड कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन फॉर अस. सो लार्जेस्ट पोर्शन इंडियन कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन में कहां से आया है? गवर्नमेंट ऑफ इंडिया एक्ट 1935. सो सर मेरे को कौन कौन से एक्ट याद करने हैं? विच एक्ट शुड आई रिमेंबर एज अ स्टूडेंट ऑफ पॉलिटी? एटलीस्ट दिस यू शुड नो व्हाट इज हैपनिंग इन दिस. सर इसमें भी हटाओ, सबसे इंपॉर्टेंट कौन सा है? 35, 1919, 1909. These are the three most important. If you don't want anything else, this is three you should know. Now, making of the constitution means there is a body which makes constitution. You know, constitution of a country is the biggest law of the land. I will tell you later on what is the meaning. There's a book. Like any religion में, किसी भी धर्म में एक बुक होती है ना, रिलीजियस बुक. जैसे गीता हो गई, कुरान हो गई, बाइबल हो गया, गुरु ग्रंथ साहिब हो गया, जिससे रिलीजन फ्लोज. Similarly, for every country there's a book, law book, through which entire country का law चलता है. Every organ of the government, whether legislature, executive, judiciary, सारे वहीं से powers लेते हैं. वो है Constitution of India. और वो Constitution एक ही बार बनता है किसी country में. दो चेंज होता रहता है, amendment होता रहता है, but बनता एक बार है. And that constitution is not made by a simple body, it is made by a constituent assembly, a body of people who are basically going to write the constitution. So that constituent assembly was formed in India and 1946 में, and it started writing the constitution. But constituent assembly के बारे में सबसे पहले बात किया था गांधी जी ने 1922 में. Nehru report was the first attempt. So Nehru is not a Jawaharlal Nehru, it's Motilal Nehru, his father. So Nehru report was, Indians said, okay, we will write a constitution for us. British did not listen to them. They said, we will write a constitution for us, and told British that you accept it or reject it within a year. If you don't do it, we'll start non-cooperation movement, something like that. So Indian first time attempted to write constitution in Nehru report. History में हम पढ़ेंगे Nehru report है क्या. but it's interesting thing. Somebody asked you Indians ने पहली बार अपने लिए constitution कब लिखा था? That is a Nehru report, sir. ओके उसके बाद जब 1940 में एज ए टोल्ड यू अगस्त ऑफर ब्रिटिश गवर्नमेंट ने इंडियंस को 1939 में वर्ल्ड वॉर स्टार्ट हुआ और ब्रिटिश टोल्ड इंडियंस वी विल गिव यू दिस एंड दैट एंड इंडियन इन वर्ल्ड वॉर 2 told British that we will support you only if you allow us to write our constitution. So that is how this all things started. You understand? And now Government of India Act 1935 is something which is the most significant, which contributes largely to our constitution. So somebody asks you which act of British in India contributes largely to our constitution which India has today. That is Government of India Act 1935. Now 1946 में कैबिनेट मिशन, कैबिनेट इसको मिशन क्यों बोलते हैं? बिकॉज देयर वर 3 मिनिस्टर्स, कैबिनेट रैंक के मिनिस्टर्स इन ब्रिटिश पार्लियामेंट हु केम टू इंडिया एंड हु वर गिवन दिस रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी टू create constituent assembly for Indians. That time India will be created, Pakistan will be created, that confusion was going on. So in the beginning when constituent assembly was formed, then even Muslim League led by Jinnah and Indian National Congress both worked together and both accepted what cabinet mission said. So sir, which mission created Indian Constituent Assembly? So that was cabinet mission which came to India in 1946, and there were some members, as you can see in the photographs, there were some members who came to India, and its का main purpose क्या था? Constituent Assembly India के लिए create करना. That was the main purpose. कैबिनेट मिशन प्लान में लेबर गवर्नमेंट जब इंडिया को इंडिपेंडेंस मिला, यू नो विंस्टन चर्चिल का नाम आपने सुना होगा. ही वाज द प्राइम मिनिस्टर ऑफ ब्रिटेन एट द टाइम ऑफ वर्ल्ड वॉर 2 and he was not in favor of giving independence to India. But जैसे वर्ल्ड वॉर 2 खत्म हुआ, that government changed and Labour government came with Clement Attlee as the prime minister. Churchill was removed and Clement Attlee came. He was in favor कि इंडिया को इंडिपेंडेंस दे देते हैं. And then he sent 3 members. Names you can remember. In the history also we are going to remember these names. Lawrence थे, Cripps थे, and Alexander थे. They came to India. They discussed with Muslim League and Indian National Congress. Okay, let we create Constituent Assembly for you. That is how this all started. You know, I'm running fast because I'm giving you brief of what happened. What little bit you need to know in your mind. Later on we are going to discuss that. ये है Constituent Assembly जो आज का Parliament जिसको बोलते हैं, जिसमें नेहरू जी एंड ऑल दीज मेंबर्स यूज्ड टू सिट टुगेदर एंड क्रिएट कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन फॉर इंडिया. सो ये 2 पार्ट में चलती थी. एक पार्ट में ये कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन लिखने का काम करते थे और दूसरे में ये प्रोविजनल पार्लियामेंट भी होती थी. आवर फर्स्ट पार्लियामेंट वाज क्रिएटेड वंस कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन केम इनटू फोर्स. तो फर्स्ट पार्लियामेंट वाज क्रिएटेड इन 1952, इलेक्टेड पार्लियामेंट. उससे पहले जो हमारी फर्स्ट पार्लियामेंट थी वो इलेक्टेड नहीं थी, वो कॉन्स्टिट्यूएंट असेंबली ही था. तो कंस्टिट्यूएंट असेंबली 2 काम करती थी, कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन लिखने का और एज प्रोविजनल पार्लियामेंट ऑल्सो. Nehru ji brought resolution for independence India, and that is all constituent assembly में these members are debating, this they are discussing. तो constituent assembly है क्या? Constituent assembly basically was consisting of some indirectly elected representative. Indirectly elected people did not elect them, their legislative assemblies elected them or princes elected them, so not people. And this was basically Constituent Assembly, and first time it met on 9th December 1946, and it held many of its session. So how many years took for us to write the constitution for us? It took us total 2 years, 11 months and 18 days. That is something which you keep in your mind. So 12 days less than basically 3 years, and that is how we wrote constitution for us. And you know, some dates in preamble also it is mentioned. 26th November 1949 को we approved and adopted. हमने बोला this is our constitution. Then we waited for some time. And 26 जनवरी 1950 को we brought it into force, implemented it when India became republic. That is how we know. Rajagopalacharya became the first Governor General of India, and he took over from Lord Mountbatten. So who was the first Governor General of India? Indian Governor General of India, Rajagopalacharya. Who was the last Viceroy and Governor General of India? He was Lord Mountbatten. So this information obviously we will discuss later on. Dr. Rajendra Prasad was first President of India also, and he was the President of Constituent Assembly also. That is what we should know. Then you know, when we got independence, that famous speech by Nehru ji, that is called Tryst with Destiny. Then in the midnight he gave that speech when India got independence. There was some news cuttings where India became democratic republic. So what is the meaning of this secular, sovereign, democratic republic terms? That is something which we are going to discuss later on. Constitution of India, preamble of Constitution of India, I will discuss it in detail later on. Preamble is nothing but introduction, preface. It's a basically first introduction to our constitution. जो पहला चैप्टर होता है preface कि हमें what we want out of this constitution. So this preamble, Indian preamble, is taken actually on the lines of preamble of United States. We the people of United States, we the people of India. So we have taken somewhere from there. And this is basically on the basis of the objective resolution moved by Nehru ji. So 13 December 1946 को objective resolution was brought by Nehru ji. Objective resolution means what should be the objective of constitution. That is something which we want. So that is made preamble later on. So what are the parts of Indian constitution? Our entire constitution is divided into some parts, some schedules, some articles that I'm going to discuss later on. Some parts are very important, like, sir, which part talks about the citizenship? Now recently there was citizenship amendment bill we were talking about. That time when we were talking about the citizenship amendment bill in current affair, that time we were talking that citizenship is mentioned in part 2, fundamental rights are mentioned in part 3, fundamental duties are mentioned in part 4a, something like that. Emergency is mentioned in part this. So all these things we used to talk at that particular time. So these are some basically parts of constitution. And this slide I like, because this Indian constitution, if you want to study, because Indian political system mein constitution is something majorly which we are going to discuss, because constitution is a law book from where we study everything else. So इंडियन कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन में बेसिक स्ट्रक्चर क्या है, सिग्निफिकेंट प्रोविजंस कौन से हैं, अमेंडमेंट का क्या मीनिंग है, हिस्टोरिकल चीजें हमें क्या पता होनी चाहिए, इवॉल्व कैसे किया ये, एंड बेसिक फीचर्स इसके क्या हैं. This all once we study, then we understand what is the meaning of Indian constitution, and that is what we are going to discuss later on. Basic structure का मतलब क्या है? We keep on talking about this term. Judiciary keeps on talking this particular term. Constitution is a book which gives authority and power to each organ of government. गवर्नमेंट के 3 ऑर्गन हैं. जैसे किसी के 3 बेटे हैं, तो कंट्री के स्टेट के 3 ऑर्गन हैं. लेजिस्लेटिव which makes the law, and that is a parliament, center. Executive, president, prime minister, they are executive, and president is also part of legislature because he's parliament and president comprise the legislature. Executive, and then judiciary, this Supreme Court, High Court, district courts, that entire thing is. So again, another perspective you can see here. Government of India or organs of government, executive, legislature, judiciary, these organs are there. And then there is a check and balance. Separation of power means there is a check and balance. All these 3 organs. Somebody asks you, who is powerful, sir? President is powerful, Prime Minister is powerful, Chief Justice of India is powerful. Who is powerful? Answer is nobody is powerful. The preamble tells we the people of India adopt, enact and give it to ourselves. So entire power comes from people of India. Preamble का एक purpose ये बताना भी है कि nobody is powerful in this country except people. So there is some kind of checks and balance. There is some kind of balance of power, and nobody is powerful, but there is a balance between different organs. That is what we understand. Checks and balance is always there between each of the organs. So the constitution is made up of, you see, this legislature, executive, and this judicial system. इनका meaning क्या है? That everything we get to know in this, once you study, you understand these particular things. So journey of the British ruling in India started with Regulating Act, and it ended with Indian Independence Act 1947. This was the last act made by British for India. After that, they made no law for India, and India got independence. So this was their journey for India. I hope I have told you little bit about how we are going to now move for this. What is the significance of Indian polity? And इस lecture में मैंने जो बोला है, that is what we are going to discuss later on. That is our entire brief of what we are going to talk, and the parliament system, judiciary system, laws, constitution, that is all we are going to talk. Interesting subject. It has a meaning of it. Keep watching and keep learning this particular domain with Yourpedia. Thank you.